Hello and welcome to my three object speech. Today I'm going to talk about three objects that I hold close to me. And at first they may not seem like they're very important, but the symbolism behind them is what I chose them for. So three things I'm going to talk about are my first set of headphones, my dog, and my high school diploma. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the headphones. So this is them. So why I chose my headphones is because they really help me out with things that I struggle with. For example, I have tinnitus, and if you don't know what tinnitus is, it's basically constant ringing in your ears. You probably experienced it at some point after a concert, let's say, where you went back home and for a few days, I'd say you feel the ringing in your ears. Usually it does go away after that time though, so it's really not that big of a problem for most people. It's pretty much normal in those situations. But for me, I'm pretty sure I was born with it, which means it's always been there. It doesn't just go away after a little bit of time. And so this does cause stress and anxiety in certain times, especially in high volume areas where there's a lot going on, I'd say. And so the headphones, when I first bought them, when I was around the age of, I'd say 14, when I used them for the first time with music, I realized that they really helped like dampen the sound of the ringing. And so from then on out, whenever I was feeling stressed or anxious from the ringing, I would just put on the headphones and it would help me out, make me more relaxed. And in general, music has really helped me out my entire life. It's a big part of who I am, I'd say. And the headphones really were the introduction to that passion that I really have for it. So it pretty much just symbolizes how much it helps me with my tinnitus and the introduction to music. Moving on to the second object, I guess you would call it, is my dog. So this is my dog. He's not really an object, but I chose him anyways because he's important to me. So his name is Lando. He's a Havanese Shih Tzu. He's about 4 years old. We got him originally from Seattle, and he's been a big part of our family ever since. So the reason I chose him is because whenever you're feeling upset or not having a good time, he will always be there to just come over and sit by you, and that's really all you need, I guess, to feel better. In general, he just brings us all together. I'd say at first we didn't want a dog, but we all came around to the idea eventually, and it was the best thing we did. Funny story is, we were actually within like the first week of getting him, he wasn't adjusting at all, and it seemed like he hated the place. But we almost gave him away actually, but thankfully we didn't, and now he's well adjusted. We've moved three houses, and it's been the same thing each time. And I'm just really happy that we kept him, and he's just great. And that is the second object. Moving on to the third one is my high school diploma, which looks like this. Put it down. All right. Another look at it. My high school diploma. So the reason I chose this for my final object is because it symbolizes the hard work that I put in for all my previous years of school. And in general, it just teaches me to keep going and continue my education to have a good future, I'd say. And in general, it reminds me that my parents didn't really have the opportunities that I have today. In fact, my dad moved here from Iran, and he went to WSU Pullman actually, where he graduated, and he could barely speak English when he came over here. So the fact that he could sit through all those English classes in general and pass them all really gives me no excuse to not succeed. So I use that as a fuel to continue my education, and the diploma in general just brings that all together. So those are my three objects. In conclusion, they run deeper than the physical value. For example, the headphones for my tinnitus, my dog bringing us all together, and the diploma showing to continue my future and be successful. So that concludes my three object speech, and thank you for listening.